Welcome to Three and Out. I'm Jason. That's Kevin. We are brought to you by CincyJungle.com, SB Nation's Cincinnati Bengals site. We're sponsored by Eastgate Smiles Dental Care. We are on the Orange and Black Insider. Find us on YouTube. Find us anywhere that you can stream podcasts. Spotify, Apple, wherever. You got podcasts somewhere, we're there. Orange and Black Insider. It's a lot of great shows. It's Chalk Talk. It's OBI. It's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. Good stuff. There's new content every day. Check it out. Before we get started, I think it's fair to say that if you listened last week and you're listening now, when these shows are over, you're going to think that I am mentally unstable and maybe possibly bipolar, because I was way down last week.
Yeah.
And you'll see. Because I openly campaigned last week after the Bengals lost to the Titans for them to sit Burrow until after the bye.
You did.
I did.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry for what you said?
I am. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm about as sorry as I can be, because that was Burrow came out, rocked it.
He's back. I mean, it's just that simple. He's back.
He's back.
Was that 100%? Was that 100%? I don't think so. I don't think so. But it was a massive night and day change.
Oh, yeah.
From what we've seen to that, and it's only going up from here. I'd say we had Burrow at about 80, 85%. I'd say for the Seahawks, when we'll get to that, we're going to be looking at 90, 95%. And we might hang out there right around 90. Probably maybe even a game or two after the bye. Just kind of nagging injury, but we can win. 90% Burrow, we can win.
90% Burrow is better than 90% of the other quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
There's a handful of guys that I take over 90% Burrow, and that would be Mahomes. I probably take Josh Allen over 90% Burrow.
Yeah, probably. I'd say they're about even. Yeah, that's about it, right? That's kind of the list.
Lawrence?
No.
Not yet. Probably not
Jalen
yet.
Hurts? Probably not yet. Although he's looking great.
Yeah, he does look great.
Yeah.
You know who looks really good right now? Brock Purdy looks really good. Good
Brock
for him.
Purdy might be the real deal. We don't need to get into this. I don't have strong opinions on Brock Purdy, but I was certain that kid was going to feel the pressure and
I know.
Up this season. I'd like to see what he does with less than perfection.
Right.
Because he has pretty much
a great
over
team
there. Yeah.
But, it was one of those things
he's doing what he needs to do, man.
After last season, I was like, well, no one has tape on this kid. He's a 7th round pick. He's thrust into this, he's Mr. Irrelevant. He's thrust into this role. I figured surely with an offseason, they figure it's going to be Brock Purdy coming back and they'll have tape. They'll be good to go. And no, he's killing it. He's doing good. So he's not better than 90% Burrow.
No, he's not.
So anyway, but yeah. And that kind of makes me think, if last week what we had was 90% Burrow, what was he in Tennessee? And I mean, was he 50% against 40. The Browns?
I'm gonna give it a 40. I'm gonna give it less than half. I'm gonna give it less than half. That's what we've been dealing with.
I know.
They did some new stuff. They've really gone with the short game a little bit more. They've put Jamar Chase all over the field. I like that. They're blitzing more than they used to. I like that too. But let's be honest, the change is Burrow.
Everything.
Burrow has always been this team. He's always been the success of this team. And now that he actually is back there doing Burrow things, suddenly this team looks great.
Yeah.
Like it really did. Don't talk to me about the Cardinals. I'm not gonna let people, the Cardinals suck. The Cardinals are scrappier than we thought. They play really, really, really hard. I'm not saying they're like an incredible team by any stretch.
Right.
But like that is not a fluke victory. You could see how different we played. And this is just going to carry on. It's going to carry on into the Seahawks. It's going to carry on into everything.
Every week in the NFL, good teams go on the road and they play against bad teams and they get their asses kicked. Every week. It happens at least once a week. Every week. If there were no upsets in the NFL, it would be a boring sport to watch. But the reason the NFL is so great is because any week, who's the worst team in the NFL right now? Panthers.
Maybe. Probably Panthers.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Panthers. Any week, you put the Panthers up against the Chiefs 10 times, they might not. they're not going to win. Yeah, they might not win 5, but they'll win 1 or 2. You got to remember,
Sure.
those are professional athletes over there. Like
Yeah,
you know, they don't have
maybe. That
homes.
might be a pretty big gap. I don't know.
Maybe,
The Chiefs might be able to beat them
maybe,
10 times out of
yeah.
10.
But you know what I'm
I
saying.
get your point. I get
Yeah,
your
yeah, you know what I'm
point.
saying.
Just saying.
But
Pretty
what I'm
big
trying to
gap.
say is every week, good teams go on the road and they get their asses beat by bad teams, and that's part of what makes the NFL so fun. It's hard to go on the road and win in the NFL. It's
Sure.
difficult, and it's hard to go on the road in the NFL and win in convincing fashion, and that's what they did. They came out and they won all 3 phases of the game. First, so let's
Oh,
start
yes.
with the offense. Let's start with the offense. Minus T. Higgins, okay? And this is nothing against T. Higgins. I'm not saying that without him, the offense is better because it's clearly going to be better with him. This is
Sure.
more, this was more of a Burrow thing than a T. Higgins thing, has health wise, right? But minus T. Higgins, the offense looked great. The only thing, the running game struggled. Joe Mixon, 3.3 yards per carry. It's a little bit on him. It's a little bit on the offensive line. It's a lot of stuff together. But the passing game was where was that?
incredible.
Burrow was 30 something for 40 something, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception. Trent Irwin was falling when he threw it. It maybe probably wasn't the right read, but you know what? If you get out there and you throw 3 touchdowns and you're 30 for 40 completing, and every game you throw 3 touchdowns and 1 bad interception, I don't give a crap. That's fine. I'll take it. That's a Hall of Fame career at the end of your. That's a Hall of Fame career. But Burrow's back. Chase, his connection with Chase is otherworldly. 15 catches, a new franchise record. And I mean,
it's not even just the connection either. We need to just really do highlight this. If Jamar Chase might be playing the best football of his career, we might really be seeing Jamar Chase take yet another step. Like, we'll see. I'm not ready to call it yet. But man, what we've seen in a few of these games, he is unguardable. He is unstoppable.
Yep.
He looks so good, man.
He does. He looks incredible. And his connection with Burrow, that first touchdown pass. So they had Irv Smith Jr. and Irv Smith.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because in my head, when you said that, I was like, oh, wait a second. Am I saying it wrong? Oh, I'm saying it right. You're right.
Does he play? Does he play for the Bengals?
Yeah. I don't know if he does. I don't know. He was out there in a uniform. I think he stole it from somebody.
I just don't, you don't hear his name. The whole game goes, whole game, and you just never hear anybody say Irv Smith. It's weird.
Yep.
Anyways, what were you saying?
They had Irv Smith Jr. and Trent Irwin stacked on the right side, right? And I think the idea was that Irv Smith was going to hopefully take both defenders, and then Irwin would be wide open underneath. And that didn't happen. The defensive backs played it really well. They were both being guarded. And then Chase was on the backside doing like a drag. And then when he saw that, and Burrow was getting pressured. Someone cut across Jonah Williams' face, and when he saw Burrow roll out to the right, he stopped and cut back. And the window that Burrow, here's the thing, for that to be a touchdown pass, which it was, Burrow would have had to almost know Chase is cutting, Jamar's going to cut back before he does it, because he had to throw it so fast.
Yes.
The window was so small. He had to throw it so quick that he almost had to know Jamar was going to cut back before he did. You know what I mean?
And that's amazing. What playing pretty much their entire college and professional careers together has done. Yep. Minus 1 year. But yeah, they know each other back of a book. And it's a cliche saying, but it's true. I guarantee you, the moment Burrow saw Jamar Chase's eyes read that field, he said, I have 1, 2, 3, throw.
Right. Yep. And then, I think that was the moment. That was the first drive of the second half. So the Bengals offense went on a great drive to start off the game. 2 good drives. They ended the second one with a field goal. And then they went on some 3-and-outs. And you and I were texting, and you said offense needs to get back in rhythm because they starting to just plod, a couple 3-and-outs. And you don't want that because then the Cardinals took the lead. They scored 14 points. And then we got the Cam Taylor-Britt pick 6, perfect timing. And then we came out in the second half, and I wanted to see, hey, I'd like to see the offense drive back down there. What I was not expecting was a 63-yard bomb that Joe Goodberry said had the longest air yards in Joe Burrow's career.
Yes.
So, knowing how professional quarterbacks have to throw, I coach Pee Wee football, and tonight, like, we're getting near the end of practice, so like we just played like two-hand touch, just like little fun seven.
Yeah.
And I played quarterback for these little kids. Everybody wants to go deep, and I can't do that. It hurts my shoulder. It hurts. I'm going to be sore tomorrow. Okay, but I cannot throw a ball 63 yards because everything I do is arm. I never learned how to drive off my foot. You know what I mean?
No,
But Burrow doesn't make that throw if he's not 90%.
no,
It
especially
also
not Burrow.
kind of makes me know, like, how far does he throw it if he's 100%?
I mean, I think
know?
we're pretty close to 100% at this point.
Yeah.
When I say Burrow is 90%, I don't mean that he's playing. I don't expect him to play like he's 90%
Yeah.
for a couple games. What I do expect is that he's not going to extend plays. He's going to be, how about this? He's going to be more judicious with what he does. He
Okay, I see
can
what you
do it
mean.
all now. He can extend plays, but he's
Right.
not going to
Not going to do it unless he has to.
push it.
Okay.
He's not going to do it just for no reason. Like, we would see Burrow
Right.
scramble all over that field for just the hope and a prayer that something was going to open up, because that's just his play style. He never gives up. I expect he's going to give that up just for the next couple games, just because, hey, while I can do this, do I need to for a 3% chance? No.
Yeah.
Throw it away, move on. So I think we are looking at, that's about where he's at. I think he probably could have gone a little farther. I mean, but does the accuracy drop? But if we're talking 60 air yards,
Doesn't
are we
matter.
worried about? Do we do
Yeah.
like?
No.
Are we going to nitpick about like? Well, I want to see him throw 65. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Dude. Like,
I know.
that was great. It was one of the longest throws
Yeah.
of his career. Had plenty of velocity on it. What's the issue?
He had another long throw that was just out of reach for Irwin, and I mean, like, it scraped his fingernails. You know what I mean? I think if T. Higgins and he's just his size, he catches that pass.
Sure, that wingspan.
Whatever. The point is, the offense looked great because Joe Burrow looked really good. So super exciting. He's back. I'm calling it. He's back. So defensively, there were a couple points, especially early, or not early, I guess, in the second half when they took, or the first half when they took that lead, like second quarter. There was a couple of drives that were a little bit iffy. First, I want to say Trey Hendrickson played like a man possessed. He's on pace for over 20 sacks this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 6 sacks in 5 games. PFF is crediting him with 7. I don't know where the extra half sack is coming from, but like stat line, he's got 6.5.
And I'm crediting him with 8 because he had 2 sacks taken away by penalties.
That's right.
That
is very true
for the sacks he got.
Yep.
So I know it's not technically on the stat sheet, but that ties him with Watt for most sacks in the NFL right now. As a fan, I'm not a statistician. I'm a fan. I'm calling it 8 sacks.
Okay. Do it. I'll tell you this right now. If he plays at this level, we're talking about Defensive Player of the Year award possibilities. I mean, that's how good, that's how dominant he is coming off the edge right now. And he's got good pass rushing moves, but the one he wins on is the same one. He's just so good at it. Just so quick off the edge, just swatting hands around. He was incredible. This was DJ Turner's first start. DJ Turner looked really good.
Yes, he did.
Really, he had a stop on a third down where it was, if he was beat, it was going to be a 20-yard run. And he was able to make a tackle. It's just a great, and this is a power running game. It was on James Conner, I think. James Conner's a powerful runner. So he played really, really well.
I do want to just mention my biggest concern with Turner was because of his size, that he was not going to be an incredibly physical cornerback.
He throws his body
around. I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't lead to injuries, but right now I'm loving it because he plays like a larger man. He plays with a recklessness like to his own body. Yes.
He plays like Mike Hilton.
He does. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Hilton throws his body around. And I mean, someone Mike Hilton's size shouldn't be able to bring down Derrick Henry in the backfield one-on-one, but he does it all the time. But that's how DJ Turner plays against run. He's aggressive, throws his body around. Cam Taylor-Britt with the pick 6, right when it was needed. Doctor's orders, man. The momentum never went back to Arizona after that. That was like and it was in the second half. I mean, or in the second quarter. I mean, that was like coffin nails right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they just never stopped. There are strip sacks and interceptions. Jermaine Pratt had one. Logan Wilson dropped an interception. It was just total domination, with an exception of maybe 10 minutes at the end of the first through the second quarter. 10 minutes of play where the Cardinals outplayed the Bengals. Other than that, it was great. It's great. You have anything else to say about the awesomeness we saw. It's so much easier to do this. So
Yeah,
much
it's a
easier
lot
to
more
sit here
fun.
and talk about this. After the Titans game, I was like, oh, I don't want to do a show. I don't even want to do it. This is
No, and especially because like we a lot of you probably didn't start listening from the beginning. I don't know why you would have, because we started a Bengals podcast right after the Super Bowl,
yeah, no.
uh, in the worst possible seat time to start a podcast. But man, I was looking forward to this season because it was finally gonna be fun. We're like desperately trying to generate content and trying to figure out what we're gonna talk about. And it's
Yeah.
like now real football starts,
Oh, I
and it's
know.
just depressing, man. It's just
Yep.
hard, and it's a
Yep.
grind, and we're finally back. I'm calling it. I think that most Bengals fans are. The team you wanted to see is here, and that's all I have to say about it. We finally get to watch the Bengals as we knew them and as we expected them to be this year play some football.
Okay. I agree with you. I do agree with you. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Seahawks a little bit.
Eastgate Smiles Dental Care is a warm and welcoming environment where expertise and customer service come together. As a local business, they love helping their fellow Cincinnatians manage their oral health and achieve a perfect smile. They pair the latest technology with years of experience to give you a smile worth showing off. They are dedicated to quality and convenience and can even perform dental crown procedures the same day in most cases. You like your smile, but they are here to help you love it. They personalize your care and match your needs. Call them today at 513-528-1150 to learn what they can do for your pearly whites.
So, one more game until the bye. The Bengals are 2-3 with an incredible opportunity after a bad start to go into the bye with a 3-3 record, which would just be amazing. Standing in their way are the Seattle Seahawks coming to Cincinnati. I think they're 3-1. They have a just talent loaded offense.
Yes, I do.
Great wide receivers. Geno Smith is one of the coolest stories in the NFL. He's been in the league for like 10 years and just never really got a fair shake. He was drafted by the Jets and just things didn't work out, but the Jets were bad. They were poorly managed then. Sometimes they're poorly managed now. I mean, they
I was
seem
going to
better.
call out the then.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
then they were poorly
Right.
managed.
I mean, I think what happened this year was just bad luck, but that happens. That happens.
Sure.
But spending a number 2 overall pick on Zach Wilson, that's their fault. Injuries didn't cause that draft pick.
No.
They did. And now you see what happens when you draft Zach Wilson's number. Anyway, back to the Seahawks. So Geno Smith kind of bounces around. He ends up in Seattle and balls out. Plays really, really well. He's played really well. He has DK Metcalf. He has Tyler Lockett. He has rookie Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's got Noah Fant, who was traded to the Seahawks in what has to be considered now the worst trade in NFL history. Russell Wilson. And they got a good defense that's really good at rushing the passer. Really, really good at it.
Very good.
Yeah. And they have a lot of different blitz packages. It's one of those things with it that I think this game is going to be a get the ball out fast game. You know what I mean? Not a lot of passes where you're holding on to it. A lot of these passes are going to kind of be extension of the run game passes, where I'll take a short pass for 3-4 yards on first down,
Luckily, we've been building that exact offense for the entire
We're good
season.
at that. Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's what we like.
Yep.
We're not suddenly having to throw deep over and over and over again. This is pretty good luck. Like, if you're talking like, what's the one thing you got to do to beat this team is get the ball out quick. Well, we've been perfecting that.
We've been good at that. Yeah. So, Burrow's going to have to be. We saw him move in the pocket. He's going to have to do it again. He's going to have to. He doesn't have. This is not the kind of defense that you're going to be able to sit there and just wait for targets to get open. You're going to have to move around a little bit and extend some plays. But that's good because he can do it. He's back home. He's got the Jays. He's got the Jordans, which obviously they're magic.
Yeah. I don't know enough about shoes. I mean, I know, Jordans, but everybody's making a really big deal about it, and I didn't really understand.
Oh, I just think that is the deal not that they're cool?
I guess it is. They asked like multiple questions in the press
I don't know if it's like, and he kept saying like, I don't know what you're talking about, which is cool. It's funny, but like, I don't think like Jordans are. I don't know. I've never had a pair of Jordans. Have you ever had a pair of Jordans?
Of course not.
No, I'm not.
I've had a pair of tennis shoes that I've kept nice my entire life. I'm not that guy. I'm just not. I mean,
Of course not.
I mean, you know me. I work construction and
Yeah, I
I
know.
have
Yeah, I know.
stains all over my shirts, and
Yeah.
I've
You're a
never.
slob. You're
I'm
gross.
just never gonna pay money for good clothing or shoes because I would instantly ruin.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. I get
That's
it.
just who I am.
I still like my go-to is Kohl's. Kohl's is like if I'm getting I don't buy clothes. I
No,
get gifts that are clothes. But if I had to buy clothes, I'd go to Kohl's.
yeah,
We're not endorsed
yeah,
by Kohl's, but we'll take an endorsement.
sure. Cole's cash.
Just
You can
saying.
pay us in Cole's cash.
Kohl's cash. Yeah. Pay us pay us in Kohl's cash. This is the self-sustaining economy that they've been striving for. Kohl's cash. Just like Dave and Buster's
Been there the whole
bucks.
time. Yeah. Anyways,
Anyway,
if the Seahawks beat us on offense with their offense, I think it's
yeah.
going to come down to Noah Fant in the run game.
Yeah.
I do think that their wide receivers are good. They're very good.
Yep.
I think our cornerbacks are up to the challenge at least of containing them for the most
Yep.
part. This year we have not been great at stopping the run, and we have not been great at containing tight ends. They have a pretty good run game. They have a pretty good tight end. I think that if we can tighten up that aspect of our game on defense,
Yep.
then we can win that particular matchup offensively.
So I do agree with you. Here's my thing that I think needs to happen. The Seahawks have only given up 7 sacks. Okay, their offensive line has only given up 7 sacks, which is 5th best in the NFL. Okay.
Sure.
With that really good core of wide receivers, if you let Geno Smith just sit in the pocket, they will get open. There are no normal human beings, and I'm not saying NFL players are not obviously not normal human beings. There are no cornerbacks that can cover DK Metcalf and just for 5 seconds. Doesn't work like that. Do it. So if you let him sit back there, he'll find somebody. Someone will get open. So this game, more so than any other before, it's imperative that the pass rush at least makes him uncomfortable. And that's the great thing is Trey Hendrickson is playing great. He's playing lights out.
Yes.
But they need more. I'd like to see Joseph Osai pop off a little bit in this game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Get something on. I'd like to see something from Miles Murphy. Just anything, you know what I mean? Just rotate him in there. But like I don't want to see at all Geno Smith just sitting back there looking downfield.
I'd like to see some exotic blitz packages too.
Something.
You know what I mean? Get Hill in the game. Get Hilton in the game. Let's see what they can do. Keep guessing.
Dax Hill had a sack against Josh Dobbs where he just flew like a bullet, man, like a bullet out of it. Dobbs, I think he saw it. Obviously, he just didn't have time to react. It was too late. But yeah, some stuff like that. They're using Dax Hill. I love the way Blue Arm was using. He's lined up all over the place.
He's becoming what we thought he was going to be.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
Kind of projected last year. He's slowly turning into it.
He had more in the box snaps than Mike Hilton did last week. And that's like Mike Hilton's thing, in the box corner. You know what I mean? Like an extra linebacker. But this is the Seahawks are a good team. They're a good team. They've they play in a pretty tough division. The Rams are a good team. The Niners are probably the best team in the NFL right now. The Cardinals are scrappy. They're a good team in a good division. I mean they've been good. This is going to be a tough game. This is going to be, I don't know if I'm willing to say
it's a must-win game, Jason.
No, I agree. I don't know if I'm willing to say or not that are the Seahawks the best team the Bengals have played so far.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they are. Yeah.
Early in the season, we'll see everything shakes out. You can never tell. But as of right now, I'd say they are the best team. They're the biggest challenge, but this Bengals team is also the best we've seen it. I think this is also a must-win game, not just because of the going into the bye 3-3, which would be great. But coming out of the bye, we've got some challenges, my dude.
Oh yeah,
and I would like to hit at least hit those challenges head on with a 3-3, so that we can go 14-3, like we all know we're going to.
Yep. Well, here's another thing I want to say. 2 things actually. One is the Seahawks are coming off a bye. Okay.
Yes.
Which bye week, they get an extra week to get healthy, which they've done. that kind of sucks. Just the timing wise, they're coming off the bye, but they're on a 3-game winning streak. So I mean, does the bye week take away a little bit of that momentum? You know what I mean? Like you're on a roll and now you got to stop. Who knows? I'm hoping to. And then their schedule, just their overall schedule so far. I'm going to tell you. So they lost to the Rams, 30-13 in week 1. Okay, at home. Then they went to Detroit. They beat the Lions in overtime. Okay, the Lions are good.
Game.
Yep. And then they came home. They beat the Carolina Panthers 37-27. Okay, and then they went and then they went to New York and played the Giants and won 24-3. Not a good team.
Not a good team. Yeah.
Right. So in their season so far, they've played a good team in the Rams, a good team in the Lions, and the last 2 games they've played were against bad teams. And I think that matters too. I do. Now, obviously, the Bengals are coming off a game against a bad team. And I know the Tennessee Titans throttled us.
We're referring to the Cardinals as scrappy.
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 That's
what we're saying. We're not saying bad team.
You're right.
They're scrappy.
You're right. Scrappy. They're scrappy. I don't know. These kind of things, sometimes they throw wrenches in a team's game plan. Sometimes they don't. The bye week sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't. Who knows? So much of what happens in the NFL is whether the ball bounces your way or whether it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Sure.
It's not 100% that the better team always wins. But this game, to me, the Bengals' backs are against the wall still. I think they're still playing that way. I think maybe the Seahawks come in here and, they saw what the Bengals did last week, but maybe they come in here a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more saying like, hey, if we win, awesome. If we don't, we're still 3-2. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I don't think there's going to be that attitude necessarily.
No, I don't think,
team
any
ever had that
NFL player
attitude.
doesn't. Yeah.
Here's what I do think is I do think that that energy they've had has been relatively easy to maintain in the last couple of games because of an easy schedule. And what we're looking at now is for the Bengals is an energy that doesn't need to be maintained. It just started. It finally kicked into gear. And if you don't think that this Bengals team is going to look at the schedule, we go 3-3. They've got Burrow balling out, coming off that game, and just feel energized and ready to play as hard as they have to
at home
to make this at home to win this game. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. That whole locker room is feeling this energy in a way that I don't think many other teams in the NFL would be, just because it is a very unique situation to be that they're in, where they should be good and they're not, and they're not, and they're just not. And then finally, their leader, Burrow, comes out and wins, and he looks good doing it. And you could tell that whole team's going to be vibing on it. They're riding that wave. That alone would bring them to victory. But also, they're really, really good at football.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. All right. So we didn't do game predictions last week, and the Bengals won.
Yeah. I told you that this was going to be the issue.
Right. So we're doing this again, right? We're not doing predictions.
It's your call. I got a prediction lined up if you want to do it. I'm not overly superstitious as far as the podcast is concerned. What do you think?
If we do predictions and the Bengals lose, I'm going to feel like it's our fault. If they win, it doesn't matter to me. What's the predict? Is it a score prediction?
That's what I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it out.
I'm not.
Go ahead. Do predictions.
Yeah. Go ahead and just tell me your predictions. We're not going to go back and forth like we were. If we're going to do predictions, we'll do them in a different way.
Bengals win 30-21.
I like it. Okay.
Bengals win 30-21. It's a relatively high scoring game. The Seahawks are going to get theirs, but we're going to win by a score and 2 scores.
Okay. All right. Does T. Higgins play?
No, he does not, and I don't think he should.
Okay. Think an extra week.
I don't want him getting re-banged up. We got the Niners coming off that bye. He can sit. That's fine. Okay. Irwin's good. Yoshi needs the snaps. I don't have a problem with T sitting.
Here's my prediction.
All right.
Burrow scores a rushing touchdown. Yoshi has his first NFL touchdown.
Ooh.
Bengals win 33-24. Win by 9.
I also have 9, but different spread.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're favored by like a field goal, I think. I don't really know. So this will be a fun game. I'm excited. I'm
gonna
excited.
Go I'm gonna just calling plays. DJ Turner's gonna get an interception.
Okay, I love to see it. Love to see it. I think Cheeto's out. I think he was out today. I saw that T. Higgins was out on the field, but kind of going light. I don't think Cheeto participated.
If Cheeto plays, it's going to be limited. It's going to be very limited snaps.
Yep. So,
all right. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Bengals are going to win. We're the first to say it.
First to say it in the history of the world. No one's ever said that word ever.
And we begin our path to 14-3.
Yes, from here on out. Man, what an amazing rest of the season that would be. 14.
I mean, I think we're going to get close. I really do have us at like 11 or 12 wins.
Yeah.
Despite
I think they'll win the division. I do. I know the Browns have a winning record. I know the Seahawks, or not Seahawks. I know the Ravens do. I don't really know what even the Steelers' record is, but like I've watched all of them play, and they played better than the Bengals have so far this year, for sure.
But not better than we know the Bengals can play.
Yeah, but like if Bengals are full strength and they're playing like they can play, none of those teams are as good as the Bengals. That's just a fact. Come at me, bro. I don't know. That's what kids say.
They do.
Facts.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah. Okay. That's enough. Thank you again for tuning in. We are on the Orange and Black Insider on YouTube, anywhere you can find podcasts. There's a lot of great shows. It's a lot of great content. It's us, Chalk Talk, OBI, Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends, John Shear and Anthony Cosenza. Just a ton of great content, new content every day. Check it out. We are brought to you by CincyJungle.com, SB Nation Cincinnati Bengals site, sponsored by Eastgate Smiles Dental Care. For Kevin, I'm Jason. Who dey think going to beat them Bengals? Nobody. That was bad. That was awkward and weird. We'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll be talking bye week and they'll be 3-3. We'll be excited to kind of break it down. And then bye week we'll talk about something. I don't know. All right. Kevin, see you later, buddy. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. Say goodbye. Say something.
I'm just letting you go, man.
Okay. I don't. You have to cut me off.
For 3 and Out, I'm Kevin. That's Jason. Who dey?
Who dey?
That's great!